Hi guys, I'm live. I just want to do a random music theory lesson while I'm walking. Someone mentioned the double harmonic major scale in one of the comments, and it got me thinking. Even though the answer to this question was that scale wasn't relevant for what I was doing, I do think that's an interesting scale. I think it's a good combination to add to everything. So I know it's not pump day, lesson day, so I don't have a guitar in my hand. Plus I'm on a walk, so I don't have a guitar in my hand. But I'd like to do a little music theory lesson if you guys can follow it. If you're interested in all that. Let's say I have a natural minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Make the G a G sharp, makes it a harmonic minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. Add the C sharp as well as the G sharp. You have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp, A. That makes harmonic major. Now, then if you want to get in double harmonic territory, let me think about this for a second. Okay, this is what you can do. Start with A harmonic minor is A. Let me switch the tone, the volume off my things so it doesn't interrupt us while we're talking. An introduction. Before I introduce the double harmonic scale, I'd like to talk about it for a second. The reason they call it double harmonic is because apparently when you say single harmonic, you mean either harmonic minor, or harmonic major, and both harmonic minor and harmonic major have the harmonic tetrachord, which is half step, augmented step, half step. It makes a perfect fourth, but with a half step above the bottom note and a half step below the top note, making a augmented second, or in between the two. So in A harmonic minor, part of the scale is E, F, G sharp, A. That's a harmonic tetrachord because it's half step, augmented step, half step. And then in C, and then in a C harmonic major scale, you also have the same thing. You have G, A flat, B, C, which is also a harmonic tetrachord because it's half step, augmented step, half step. And then the double harmonic scale is when you have two harmonic tetrachords in the same scale. So it could likely be thought of as, let's say, half step, augmented step, whole step, half step, augmented step, half step. So you basically have a harmonic tetrachord with a whole step after that, and then another harmonic tetrachord on top of it. Half step, augmented step, half step, augmented step, half step, whole step. That's a harmonic tetrachord with a harmonic tetrachord on top and the whole step above that. Now you can have the whole step below the two. You could have whole step, half step, augmented step, half step, augmented step, half step. That's a whole step followed by harmonic tetrachord and then another harmonic tetrachord on top of that. So that's basically the structure of the scale. But now let's get back into spelling it with the different, keys, and different notes. So if I have an A harmonic minor scale, that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. What I can start to do is sharp the fourth degree. See, if I sharp the third degree of the harmonic minor scale, I get the harmonic major scale. That's A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G sharp, A. But if I keep the third minor and sharp the fourth of the scale, and then keep the major seventh, I have A, B, C, D sharp, E, F, G sharp, A. And that's a harmonic scale. That's a double harmonic scale. Because basically, it's whole step, half step, augmented step, half step, augmented step, half step. And some call it the snake charmer scale. Richie Blackmore used it a lot, at least some of the time. Snake charmer scale. It's basically, it's a harmonic minor scale with a raised 4. And the raised 4 is reminiscent of the blues scale, some had said. So it's like a combination of the blues scale and the harmonic minor scale. I'm not sure how true that analogy is, but it's been said. Now, what's the fifth mode of the snake charmer scale? Well, that would start on E, and it would be E, F, G sharp, A, and then B, C, D sharp, E. So that would be half step, augmented step, half step, whole step, half step, augmented step, half step. And that's one of the double harmonic scales that I think is very useful as well. It's got the harmonic, harmonic tetrachord starting the scale, and then the whole tone in between, and the harmonic tetrachord at the top of the scale. So that's the fifth mode of the A snake charmer scale. So basically, it is a let me think here. It's a Phrygian mode with a major seventh. How about that? No, Phrygian dominant mode with a major seventh. Yeah, Phrygian dominant mode with a major seventh. So in E, it would be E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, D sharp, E. So it has, when you have half step, augmented step, half step, whole step, half step, augmented step, half step, you get a Phrygian dominant with a major seventh. And the Phrygian dominant has a flat 9 or flat second, and the major seventh is a half step below the root, and the flat second is a half step above the root. So you have two half steps in a row, which you do in all the double harmonic scales. Have two half steps in a row, which makes a diminished third, which is not normal music theory, but why not stretch it a little sometimes, you know? Now from the major end, let's say I have a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If I want to see harmonic major, I have C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. Now, what do I do to double harmonicize that? Well, flat the second. So now I have C, D flat, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. That the major seventh from B to C is a half step, and then the half step between C and D flat make the two half steps in a row. And so a major scale with a flat 6 and a flat second makes a double harmonic scale. And you could think of the C major scale as C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The C harmonic major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. The C harmonic minor scale is C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B, C. But that's with the flat minor third. So that's a harmonic major scale with a minor third. But a harmonic major scale with a flat second or a flat 9 is C in C, is C, D flat, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. And that's a straight double harmonic scale because the notes, the intervals make half step, augmented step, half step, whole step, half step, augmented step, half step. And so again, you have between the seventh, the major seventh and the root, which is B to C, and from the root to the flat second, which is C to D flat, you have two half steps, which make a diminished third if you put them together. And if there's two half steps in a row, it's not normal music theory. So I expanded my, if you make the rule that you can't have any diminished thirds or augmented thirds, and there's only the four possibilities of 7-note scale. And that's the major scale, or its modes, the harmonic minor scale and its modes, the harmonic major scale and its modes, and the melodic minor scale and its modes. I think a bug just flew in my left eye, so I'm wiping them out. Anyway, okay, there's that. And then I want to go just a little further while we're having all this fun, and talk about the enigmatic mode. It's a scale that was devised by Giuseppe Verdi in the classical days, 1800s, I think, which is 19th century, something like that. And Joe Satriani used it in a song called The Enigmatic on Not of This Earth album, 1986. 1986 was the greatest era for shred, by the way. You want to know all the albums that came out in 1986 that were great? Eat 'Em and Smile by David Lee Roth, Not of This Earth by Joe Satriani, Tones by Eric Johnson, Racer X, Street Lethal, Racer X, Street Lethal by Racer X, Time Odyssey by Vinnie Moore, Trilogy by Ingrid Malmsteen, the movie Crossroads. What else came out in '86? That's great. The first Van Hagar album, which is called 5150. Just a great year for metal and shred. Oh, and yeah, I think that was a great year. So anyway, back to the musical music thing. The enigmatic mode is an interesting scale. So to get an enigmatic mode, you start with a whole tone scale, and then you add a major seventh, which makes it a leading whole tone scale, and then you flat the ninth or second, which makes it a enigmatic mode. So let's do some of the math of this. Let's say I'm in the key of E. So if I have E Phrygian, it's E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. If I have E whole tone scale, it's E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, C, D, E. That's E whole tone. Now if I make it a major seventh added into it to make it 7 notes, that becomes a leading whole tone. It's E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, C, D, E flat, E. Okay, that's a B flat could also be D sharp, whatever. That's a leading whole tone. And then if you flat the ninth or second, you would have E, F, G sharp, B flat, C, D, D sharp, E. D sharp could be E flat as well. And that is literally an E enigmatic mode. So let's do it in C. So a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A C whole tone scale, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, C. A C leading whole tone is C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, B, C. And a C enigmatic mode is C, D flat, E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, B, C. So there's that. I love that scale. I love the sound of it. It's like a Phrygian whole tone augmented scale. It's really weird, but I like the sound of it. I'm going to do some more pieces with it later on. I'm going to do some more playing with that scale. I like it. And rather than go on about it, just stay tuned when I use it, see what I do with it on my pieces and jams. Love you guys, peace, love, rock and roll.